Well, we have some breaking news. There is more information coming out of the Donald Trump email Epstein saga that has broken through today. And this is just hours before the 218th vote is set to be sworn in by Mike Johnson. This is all crumbling very quickly, isn't it? And now we have emails that are just trickling. This is kind of like Emailgate for Clinton, but on our side and actually really damaging emails. And we have here Jeffrey Epstein saying that he had a beauty contest with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Also have another email saying that Ghislaine recruited girls from Mar-a-Lago. And the White House is responding to all of this. And now we have a post from Donald Trump where Donald Trump is panicking. He just posted it. Here is this email that says, "Hope you are well. Photos look good. FYI, I received many calls a week about both Donald, the beauty contest in Mar-a-Lago, and Clinton from reporters, less so about Clinton recently." And then it says here now that Jeffrey was doing what he could to just be quiet about the whole thing. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Why would Jeffrey Epstein want to cover up for Donald Trump if not because he was covering up for himself? Now, this one is a little, the people are just really sifting through. There's like 20,000 files that were released. Now, it says here, this was an email sent from Ghislaine, and it says, "Message, recall Prince Andrew's accuser came out of Mar-a-Lago." Came out of, as this person notes. Ghislaine recruited her from Mar-a-Lago right into your house. And as I said, Donald Trump is panicking. I have a post from Truth Social, Donald Trump's blog, where he is really flailing. And also there's reporting here discussed from Aaron Parnas that says even more about what's going on.
18 signatures. They just called an emergency meeting, according to CNN, of top Justice Department officials, including Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, the Attorney General Pam Bondi, and Kash Patel, the FBI Director, alongside Lauren Boebert. Donald Trump has personally called both Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace in an effort to try to have them remove their names from the Epstein discharge petition. They're two of the four Republicans who have signed on. The other two are Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene, neither of whom have signed or will remove their names. But there is a full court press happening right now as increased panic within the White House sets in that the Epstein files may soon become public, or that the House of Representatives may soon vote, a full House of Representatives vote, on whether to release the files publicly. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a full court press over the next few hours. Spread the word. Full updates on my Substack, linked in bio.
All right. And as I said, Donald Trump. Now, before we do this post about Donald Trump, I just got to say, that meeting did happen. And why would Donald Trump be doing this? If not because of the fact that he's guilty as hell. Why would he be trying to convince members of his own party to not release the Epstein files? The thing that Donald Trump said he wanted to do while running for office. It's a question worth asking. I think we all know the answer. And he also said this. And then after this, I have Caroline Leavitt being asked about this. She was on the podium moments ago. What a day to do a press briefing. All right. The Democrats are trying to bring up Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown and so many other subjects. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap. The Democrats cost our country $1.5 trillion with their recent antics of viciously closing our country, while at the same time putting many at risk. And they should pay a fair price. And then this is the important bit. There should be no deflections to Epstein or anything else, and any Republicans involved should be focused only on opening up our country and fixing the massive damage caused by the Democrats. No deflections to Epstein. Well, the only people who could deflect are Massie, who's not going to move. We have MTG, who's not going to budge. Boebert, who apparently got a very early call from a panicked Donald Trump and is not budging as of time of recording. And I think the person most likely to perhaps bend is Nancy Mace. So we're going to be following that for sure. The White House responded in a couple of ways. Here's a statement from Caroline Leavitt, and then I have her on the podium answering some questions. Quote, the Democrats selectively leaked emails to the liberal media to create a fake narrative to smear President Trump. The unnamed victim referenced in these emails is the late Virginia Giuffre, who repeatedly said President Trump was not involved in any wrongdoing whatsoever and, quote, couldn't have been friendlier to her in their limited interactions. The fact remains that President Trump kicked off Jeffrey Epstein out of his club decades ago for being a creep to his female employees, including Giuffre. These stories are nothing more than bad faith efforts to distract from President Trump's historic accomplishments, blah, 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 blah. I guess my question is, okay, then why is he calling Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace and trying to get them to change their vote? Why not just release the files? That's my question. I don't know the answer. Well, I do know the answer, but they don't seem to have an answer. Now, she was also asked about, as I said in the White House podium, she was asked about Prince Andrew.
Some Democratic members of Congress have invited Britain's former Prince Andrew to testify on the Epstein scandal. I was just wondering if President Trump thinks that former Prince Andrew should indeed come and testify to Congress on that.
I haven't spoken to him about that specific matter, but I can ask him and get back to you.
What do you think his answer is going to be? I think his answer is going to be no. He's going to say no. Absolutely not. Now, she was also asked about whether or not Donald Trump is going to pardon Ghislaine.
Stephen, go
as
ahead.
well, if the president is considering a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell.
Again, he's answered this repeatedly. It's not something he's talking about or even thinking about at this moment in time. I can assure you of that.
Not a no. Not a no. Okay, well, we're going to keep following this. I got a couple more videos cooking to come out around all of this. Certainly, I feel like the floodgates have opened. Not a moment too soon. The Republicans are saying that this is happening now because Democrats want to distract from the fact that they caved on the cover-up. No. This is what's happening now because the government is now opening up. It's not because they're trying to distract. The only one trying to distract in this moment is Donald Trump. And again, I think we just have to keep asking this question over and over and over and over and over again. Why is Donald Trump and the Trump administration doing everything they can to stop these files from coming out? I think the answer is because Donald Trump is guilty as hell. And he knows it. I think, sadly, Republicans now know it, and they don't care. They don't care. It was never about Epstein. It was never about the victims. It was about using the story to get power. Now that they have the power, they're doing everything in their power to protect one of the worst pedophiles in American history. And that pedophile might actually be Donald Trump. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.